Municipal governments aren't operating the exact same way that they used to because of how dramatically the COVID-19 protocols have taken effect in our community. For example, many municipal councils aren't holding regular public meetings. The meetings they do hold are usually held by teleconference, and not all of the municipalities holding these types of meetings are regularly posting the results of these meetings to their websites. However, Richmond County has made it clear that they're going to post the minutes of their meetings to their websites, and we're going to get a little more perspective on how Richmond officials are handling the COVID-19 pandemic from the Warden of Richmond County, Brian Marchand. I spoke to him on the phone earlier this week, and the first thing I asked Warden Marchand was how things changed so dramatically for Richmond Council over a matter of days in terms of how they could have their meetings and who they would be allowed to have in.
The difficulties are more in deciding, I guess, what platform we're going to use to host our meetings. We're going to be trying one by teleconference in early April. But, some of the changes the province has made is they don't want any meetings to be held in public because of this maximum number of 5. They want us to either, video conference or teleconference. So we have to try to decide, and doing meetings by teleconference may be difficult, but we're going to give it a shot anyway. And if it's too difficult, then we'll have to move to a video kind of conference. So find some platform like Zoom or Facebook or Messenger, one of those.
I'm just wondering, how are the early stages of this new era impacting your work and the work of your fellow councillors and municipal staff? Has it been difficult for council and the municipality as a whole just to basically do your job?
As for the municipality, no, it hasn't been, but a lot of committee meetings have been cancelled, and so staff are alternating between working at home and working at the municipality. There's always someone there for answering the phone. The finance department some are in some days and some aren't, but they're ensuring that at least one or two of them are. But we're trying to not have too many in the office, and municipalities are essential services, so we have to kind of try to maintain the services that we provide.
Warden Marchand, this would normally be the time that spring budgetary discussions would be getting underway. Are those proceeding as usual? And have you had any word from the Department of Municipal Affairs concerning their expectations regarding the submission of a budget for 2020-2021?
I think Municipal Affairs normally likes them sometime by September. So we haven't heard anything from them as to that date changing. The budget discussions really aren't happening, but the preparations are happening with staff, where the directors are getting their budgets together, and the capital budget, I believe, is almost done. So having meetings by teleconference when you're discussing budgetary meetings might be difficult. So that's where we're having some difficulty in how we're going to do that. When you're having directors and they're handing you sheets and you're able to look at them, it's going to be hard to do that via teleconference. So we're going to have to email the documents and try to do a video conference, because it is hard as the chairperson to know who wants to ask a question when you're doing a teleconference, unless people just speak up. So no, we haven't had any meetings yet, the budget discussions, and we will be doing that sometime in April.
I'm just wondering, Warden, has anything else changed in terms of what the provincial government expects from Richmond County or any other municipality at this point in time?
Yeah, well, the one thing they did say is they don't want any meetings to be held in public, and that they want the minutes published within 24 hours. So that's one direction that they have given us, or what they expect from, I believe, all municipalities. They're okay with us having either a teleconference or a video conference. They do want the minutes posted within 24 hours.
Warden, I'm just wondering, what are some examples of municipal services that have adjusted to respect the COVID-19 protocols? Can you explain some of the changes that have happened in terms of, for example, how Richmond County residents can pay their tax bills this year?
People are not allowed in the office, I guess, without making an appointment. But after we had our March 16th, I believe, And in that, we spoke of some of the services, I guess, that had to be adjusted. The Richmond Arena was closed immediately. The ice is now removed. We closed the administration office to the public the following day. People would only get in by appointments. People that are looking to make payments on their water and sewer tax bills or landfill tipping fees, they can do that by either online payments, and we realize that not everybody does online, so they can mail in checks as well. Like I mentioned earlier, all our committee meetings were postponed. The solid waste management facility and the curbside collection, we've left that schedule unchanged, and that will be assessed as we move along this. The water and sewer, the operation of that remains unchanged. And there's, like I said earlier, several office staff are working from home, and they occasionally visit the office. Employees in the finance department are alternating, just so that they continue to process invoices. There's always someone at our main switchboard to answer the phone.
Okay.
The waste management facility, as I mentioned earlier, they're still accepting, I guess, garbage from the haulers and from the public, but we're adhering to the rules pertaining to social distancing. And water and sewer bills and tax bills are going to be sent out in April, and they're going to have the due date, which is the common due date that would have been on them without this event. But we're going to be relieving all the interest on current bills. If people don't pay them on the time, we're going to give an extra month for these bills to be paid. We received some notice today from the UARB that we can relieve the interest in the water bills. So that will be relieved, but on the current bills. There are some people that will want to pay them the next day. And there are some people that won't be able to, so we're going to help those people out by relieving the interest on those if they're late paying them.
Outside of the municipal office, Warden Marchand, we are wondering, what do you think of how Richmond County residents are dealing with social distancing and self-isolation? Are you getting the sense that people are following the rules in the COVID-19 era?
We do want them to listen to what Dr. Strang and the Premier is saying, and our clerk, Yvonne, posts the provincial and federal updates on our Facebook page as quick as she can. So we'd like people to visit that Facebook page, and there's some links there to current information on the numbers on what to do during this. But the biggest thing is, people need to distance themselves and stay at home. Go out, I guess, for the essentials, the food, medications. Do that, as less frequent as you can. And the personal hygiene, the washing hands and not touching face, mouth, nose with your hands, all those things are important. But another important message, and it's been stated by the Premier, is look after your neighbors if you can. Richmond has an aging population, and a lot of people are vulnerable. Some people don't have family nearby. A lot of people have moved away. So if you can, help your neighbors, and if you know of someone that needs some help, somehow maybe contact your counselor and we can try to assist in some way.
Finally, Warden Marchand, we are wondering how you and your family are dealing with all of this. You do have children, you do have a big family in Lewisdale. This all hits home from a personal standpoint, so how are you dealing with it at this point?
Well, for myself, it's definitely difficult. I have aging parents and in-laws, and for myself, I visit my parents every day. There's not a day that goes by I don't drop in and visit my parents. They don't live far, and I know my children are having that discussion with me that I need to stop that because going to work, but you don't see as much of that around here. So for me, I believe a lot of people definitely are doing their best to follow these social distancing rules, but definitely it's hard on a lot of people that have friends and family in this area. It's a life changer, and yeah, we're hearing 2 weeks, but myself, I feel this is going to go a lot longer than 2 weeks. It'll go a lot longer than a month, because will we ever know when it's over?
Yeah.
You know, we're going to feel comfortable, and you're hearing of a second wave in China. Oh, it's scary for sure. You hear of this with, I think it was the Spanish flu I was reading in paper the other day, almost 100 years ago, or was 100 years ago, where millions died. So when you hear things like the U.S. saying if we only lose 100 to 200,000 people, we can consider ourselves very lucky. That's staggering, you know. Yeah, those are numbers, but for the families that are losing loved ones, you're hearing it on the news every night. I mean, it's definitely something.
Well, Warden Marchand, we know this is a difficult time for you and your family and for everybody in Richmond County right now. We really appreciate you taking a couple of minutes to speak to us here at Telile 24/7. Thank you so much, and we hope to catch up with you again soon.